Okay, so with what you have going on right now, you should be able to have a window up. You should be able to change the clear color of it. All right, and then you can press buttons and whatnot, and then have the background color change as well. And it still doesn't speed. So it was meant to be funny. I would just be sad inside. And now the internet doesn't work. Alright, so I'll post 2 files in Slack. They're going to be the Gizmos class. Yeah, so what the Gizmos class does is everything for you. And if you were to say that we had an assessment, what the assessment would be is to make that class. Okay. While we had students that were very they didn't like the idea of it, we had some students absolutely murder it. Okay. All right. Yes. It'll catch up. It'll catch up. The recording will go up there. What?
It says you're live now.
I do?
No, it says you're live right now.
Refresh yours.
You have to start it. You started a new live stream.
Mm-hmm. Go pull it. Can you go pull it? Go refresh the page.
I'm sorry.
Get it up. Alright, so I'll post these files up in Slack.
Hey, that's not it, bro. That's a video.
No, this one's the live one.
It just says a 28-minute video.
Click that. Click that.
Ah. Oh, you giving an audio now?
No, oh no. MGUI doesn't come till way later. No, yeah, the GUI doesn't come until way later. Okay. Anyways, so the class that I'm about to show you how it works, like I'm just gonna use it, right? Well, like I said before, the demonstration that I showed you, it was, hey, what's up, man? So it was Ben's assignment that I showed y'all last year, from last year, and he caught on real quick as to what I was trying to do and why I was going this really roundabout way of having you guys implement graphics. Because in order to appreciate graphics, you need to make graphics, okay? Not just use them. Okay, and while you can use the following code to draw primitives and have fun with it, I mean, it's not really what we're assessing on. Anyways, so I put the files in Slack. See, we have the H file and just the H file, looks like. No, we have the CPP too. It's just oh yeah, there it goes. It's there. Okay, so you can do the same type of process in order to get them in your project, and you would do that by dragging them into the project directory. So I'm just going to copy them and then bring them over. So open the containing folder and then paste. Alright, so now that I have them pasted, what I'm going to need to do is add them to the project. So I'll add the existing files. Which ones do I add? As you can see, I'll add the CPP for the source file, and I will add the H file for the header.
Project director.
Mm-hmm. So once you include these two little guys, you can start to use the header for it. So if I do #include and then do gizmos.h, we'll have access to all of those functions. So the next part of the tutorial, it tells you a couple of things to just go ahead and throw up in your loop. Alright, one of those things that we're going to do is we're basically copy pasting at this point. So while true, and they do while glfw should window close. So we can take this. In order to match, we can do this. So while this is false, and this glfw get key with the window isn't, man, I don't know if I want to go about that. We're already committed to what we have. I could just reorder the semantics of this this code, yeah, but it wouldn't do it any justice. So I will go ahead and start with the following. So the person that wrote this code, by the way, worked at 2K. His name's Conan, that's my boss. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is clear the, do a clear on the gizmos. Alright, that's just a specification that he has, where what you're going to do is you're going to tear down or undraw, I believe is what the function does. Does he provide documentation? Removes all the gizmos. Okay, so yeah, that's what it does. It just removes all the gizmos. And then from here, what we'll do, yes. Yeah, that's a, yeah, well, I'll run you through it. And I'll probably have the same problem here in a second. If you don't like follow along immediately, this will go a lot faster if I could pump this video out and then the video becomes relevant instead of like fiddling around, okay? So what I'll do is, so gizmo's clear, and now I didn't have the mat4 class, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring that in. And then I'll do a declare for a vector4 for white, vec4 white. And then I'll make another vector4 to represent the black color. Okay, so black is going to be all zeros and a 1. Okay? And then what we'll do is we'll have some code here that will, let me take this out. I'm going to take this out as well, because we don't need it. Alright. Is I'm going to draw a plane. Okay? So does anyone remember what the plus plus I means?
Increment by 1. I plus plus is increment by 1.
Yeah, what? It's pre-increment versus post-increment, okay? In the scope of a function, or excuse me, in the scope of a for loop, what does it mean? Nope. We do this because we do not make a copy, okay? If you do I++, you fetch the variable, make a copy of it, and you replace with that, okay? That is an interview question. Alright, plus I will just increment it as soon as almost in place, okay? However, that operation will not happen until the bottom of the for loop. So it's some food for thought, okay? Then I'll go ahead and do this right here. I'll just add a line, and oh man, I have to keep typing this glm vec3, huh? Negative 10 plus I, 10. All right, vec3, negative 10, I, okay. If I is 10, then we do it white, otherwise we go black, and that will end that line. Okay. This is also, like, this code is on the tutorial, that's on the AIE, on Canvas, okay? Okay, so we'll just go ahead and add another line and go across it. Sweet.
Okay, I forget real quick. The question mark, isn't that forward?
It's ternary. It's a ternary operator. It's like if you took an if statement and you rotated it. All right. So the very first part of it, right after the question mark, is what happens if that evaluates to a true. And then the second part is if it evaluates to false. But if you look at it and you say like if a condition, and then you say you do a thing underneath, and then you say else condition, it's literally taking it and then doing. You just put the question mark on it. All right. Okay, so gizmos draw. Oh no. Yep. Okay, so gizmos. Then we'll say gizmos draw, and then what we'll say is say projection times the view. And we do not have the variables projection and view right now. We have to go get those variables. So those variables are some matrices that you do not know about yet. We're going to cover them. All right. So the view matrix can be denoted as view is assigned the GLM look at. Oh no. Look at. Yeah, that's money to get forward.hpp, I'm sure. So it goes gizmos, and then it goes there we go. Thank you, Resharper. I know y'all struggling to like type and stuff, but trust me, the video, well, if you're watching the video, it'll make a lot more sense. Okay. So now that we have the header files that are going to include like the majority of the GLM functions, we can use the actual look at function. And what we'll do is we're going to look at this position. Okay. Actually, we're going to do a look at the very first argument should be the actual I position, and then the second argument should be, oh look, it's right here. Oh, the center. Okay. Yeah, so the second argument will be the actual center of the camera, and then the up vector. Yes, that is it. Like 3, 0, 1, 0. All right. So then we're going to need a projection matrix, which you don't know what that is yet, but like I said, we're going to go over it. I'm just trying to get this out, and then I'll go and explain it a little more in detail. 16/9. And I am missing this near clip plane. Is that what that is? Oh, it is. Okay. And then we'll see if we'll have the problem that Zyron had mentioned.
I already fixed it.
Oh, you need to do another.
I'm including the GLM folder, so it was looking for GLM / fwd.hpp. I just switched that.
I remember having this problem though with Ben, and I think that it's really just an order of how we load these things up. So I think you have to do it this way, because of the way that the core loader, nope, macro redefinition.
Yeah, I've been sitting there with those exact same problems.
goes add lines, it's telling me that none of the overloads except two objects.
Just give me a second, ma'am.
Yeah, this is supposed to be inside of the scope.
It still is.
No.
Oh. Never.
Now try that. Sorry.
Ben, do you remember this?
GLMs.
Dude, this, look. Hold up. When I run it, you about to. It was like GLM pure. Do you remember this problem? At least the experience of it? No? GLM swizzle?
Oh goodness, give me that too.
It was some kind of, like the way that, the order of how we set this up.
So it shouldn't be in the middle.
Get to take down the look at part. What were the numbers for that?
Say again?
The look at, like the view.
It's in the, if you look on Canvas, it's on the Canvas. Oh, I know why. I know why. Yep. Just give me a second, man. I'm like streaming this, so if I could just struggle my way through this, we could all have it. No, that's how I have that set up.
Okay, put swizzle on the top.
Did you try that?
Yeah, it's giving me singleton was null pointer. Gizmo's SM singleton was null pointer.
Yep. Nope.
Nope. Okay. But that's the only one that I found that actually worked and went past breaking.
Yeah, I got it, but the stuff that we have is dated, and they just updated it, so we'll have it. I mean, by tomorrow. So the Gizmos class, the example for the Gizmos class that I would love to show you guys. So I'm gonna just go ahead and stop this stream, and